welcome back. Our Veterans Voice radio show and Ralph Nathan Oko. Ralph, this is the second half.
Yes, it is, with Cindy Schwartz, our illustrious producer from day one with me.
Thank you.
I love it. And by the way, happy birthday to my mom. Ima is 107 years old.
Oh, wow.
She was born in 1917 and passed away in 2009.
Okay, and I want to pipe in on that. Today's my brother's birthday. He's 70 years old.
God bless him.
Yeah,
That's
70.
Wonderful.
I told him, how did you make
it?
it?
Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah.
All right, Hurricanes and Himicanes. Paddy, take it away.
And Joahna's Law.
Yes.
Joahna's Law. Memorize that term, folks. It can save your life.
Go to it.
The overarching emergency preparedness tip is 3 days.
Okay.
I call it Joahna's Law.
Ah.
You never know when you'll be in the proverbial whale's belly for 3 days and nights. Always be ready to live without the internet, Netflix, microwaves, DoorDash, air conditioning, and mobile phone access for 72 hours. You can do this. Therapy will be available after. In seriousness, always assume your neighborhood could be cut off from the world for 3 days at any time. This is especially important for Floridians between August 20 and October 10, especially on September 10. The state has great emergency planning guides at, get your pen and paper ready, FloridaDisaster.com. FloridaDisaster.com. The Department of Homeland Security has them at ready.gov. Ready.gov. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has a really good guide at cdc.gov/hurricanes. That is cdc.gov/hurricanes. Now, the West Palm Beach VA Medical System and Orlando VA Medical Center have good emergency preparedness guides online. They happen to be identical. It's easiest to find them through a search engine such as Google. Just remember to search emergency preparedness, not hurricane, okay? And you can check your neighborhood's flood history at FEMA Flood Map Service Center. Just go online and search FEMA Flood Map Service Center.
And do all this before the hurricane, by the way.
Oh,
Seriously.
yeah, long before.
Yeah, you should do it now.
Joahna's Law. Joahna's Law. Use hurricane season as your excuse to once a year do Joahna's Law. Ask yourself, am I ready to be in the proverbial whale's belly for 3 days and nights at any moment? Okay, the one question I want to get out of the way is this. Should you ever evacuate?
Great question.
Some years ago, I had a long conversation with the head of the Florida Division of Emergency Management about that question. He said, for those living on Florida's East Coast, in general, if you're east of I-95, you should seriously consider evacuation as part of your hurricane planning. If you're living west of I-95, you're probably better off sitting tight unless you're in a flood area. But you already went to FEMA Flood Map Service Center, and you checked whether or not you're in a flood-prone area. Long before storms are on the horizon, assess your individual situation, make your plan, and let people know what it is and get it ready to do at any instant. Keep in mind, hurricanes have a certain, but not total, unpredictability to them.
Yeah.
Many people have fled from where hurricanes safely passed to where they ended up doing the greatest damage.
Yes.
Vero Beach, Orlando, a few years ago.
Yeah, very true, yeah.
If you stay put, if your house is cut off from the world, and I've actually had that happen to me,
Me too.
in general, stay put if conditions allow for it. If your home is destroyed, travel the least distance to a safer location as possible. Outside search and rescue is most likely on its way by the second day, and you want to be where they are looking for you. If you attempt to extradite yourself from a cutoff area, odds are high you will not get a vehicle through the obstacles between you and comparatively better areas. All right. A couple of fun facts. Florida, by a long stretch, gets the highest number of hurricanes in the U.S. From 1851 to now. A total of 124 hurricanes have made landfall in the state, accounting for 40% of all U.S. hurricane landfalls. Among those, 40 were major hurricanes. That's Category 3 or higher on the Saffir-Simpson scale, while 48 were Category 1 and 36 were Category 2 storms. At least 13 hurricanes have caused 100 or more deaths in the state since the first Spanish period. One of those was an off-season Gulf hurricane in May of 1863. It's dubbed a manta for one of the ships it sunk, and that was in the height of the Civil War, by the way. This September 18th is the 100th anniversary of the Great Miami Hurricane of 1926. It killed 372. At least 3 hurricanes have killed 1,000 or more Floridians.
Wow.
Florida had the second deadliest hurricane in U.S. history. That was the Okeechobee hurricane that killed more than 2,500 people in 1928. Beat out only by the Galveston hurricane of 1901.
What about the 1935 in the Keys? The Flagler Bridge and all.
You know, that exceeded 1,000, but it did not. Okeechobee was still
at 2,500. Yeah, 2,500.
Yeah, and many people think that's a low count. The 2,500. Many historians think that's a low count, and it does benefit you to spend some time researching hurricanes and where they hit. I've lived 20 to 30 miles west of Daytona Beach most of my life. I have never panicked when storms threaten to make landfall in Volusia County because I know I live in one of the best spots to be in Florida, so evacuation makes no sense. The last hurricane to make landfall between Volusia and Nassau counties, or northeast Florida, was in 1964. That was Hurricane Dora, which made landfall near St. Augustine, which is well north of me. That was the first storm in recorded history to make landfall in northeast Florida at hurricane intensity. There's no recorded hurricane that made landfall in Volusia, although many storms have buzzsawed Volusia County.
Flew over you, yeah. You know what I find interesting about it, and my dad would talk about this about the Northeast, about the 38 hurricane, but it's funny that we're sitting here talking about this and we're naming the year of the hurricane because they didn't name it, so I'm wondering if that was the preeminent hurricane of that year and that's why they call it, or if there were other hurricanes that year. Because when he said the 38 hurricane, it's like, was that the only one that happened in 1938 up on the Northeast?
No, just the most significant.
The most significant one, yeah.
Yeah, was it 1926 when there was a town around Fellsmere, which is north of Vero Beach, a little northwest of Vero Beach, west of 95. Yeah, and the town, because of the hurricane, literally got wiped.
It was decimated.
Physically and flood-wise. Yeah. The town was never revived, never came back.
Yeah, that happened with other ones too. Yeah, it's amazing. But they always called it that hurricane of the year because they didn't name him. Do we know when they started naming the hurricanes?
Mid-1950s, I think 1954.
Okay.
Really?
And
I thought
then
later.
didn't they name it after women specifically? And now it's like both genders?
Yes, at first they started naming them after women only. That was up until 1979.
Okay.
Hurricane David, I believe, was the first male name,
Yeah, okay.
and that was the one that cut me off from the world. I don't remember how many days it was.
Wow.
But my family was cut off from. We were stuck on the banks of the St. Johns River for I don't know, 2-3 days or so. So it can happen. And when we come back, I do want to share what I believe is the most dangerous part of any storm.
When was the New Smyrna Beach hit with the hurricane? Because I remember Todd Martin and I went up there to help one of our friends. And man, these storms have a mind of their own.
Yeah, they do.
This storm went up and down one particular street, literally where my friend lived. Our friend lived, and wiped out one side of the street, not the other. I mean, unbelievable. So we'll be right back. And now when we come back, we're going to have some tidbits, but also a few footnotes, water and so on. Let's just review a little bit of what you might want to prepare a little bit ahead of time. So we'll be right back. We're sharing with you Himicanes and Hurricanes, our Veterans Voice Radio with Patty and Cindy. We'll be right back.
I'm Dr. Tim Ioannidis at Treasure Coast Dermatology. At Treasure Coast Dermatology, we believe in the prevention and early detection of skin cancer. We are medical doctors, and we focus on the medical aspects of dermatology. You don't need a sales pitch for Botox, collagen, or wrinkle creams. You need a doctor that cares about you and the health of your skin. We feel by not trying to do too much, we can do more for our patients.
Call toll-free 877-870-DERM. That's 877-870-3376.
Meet Norma Howell, patient of Florida Eye Institute.
My sight to me is top priority because you lose your sight, you lose all of your independence. And so with me, it was scary. After meeting Dr. Shoemate, I had a joy. I knew I was going to be okay. My life is just 100+%.
Are you ready to experience truly exceptional patient care? Florida Eye Institute.
Hey, did you hear the latest about our Florida Highwomen?
No, what?
There's a Highwomen Art Gallery in Vero Beach.
Really? Where?
1872 Commerce Avenue.
Wow, when's it open?
7 days a week. Call 954-557-6226 for an appointment anytime.
No kidding?
Just call for your appointment, 954-557-6226, and then go to 1872 Commerce Avenue.
Wow, that's good news.
And we're back on our Veterans Voice Radio show and Ralph Nathan Oko. It's hurricane season, Ralph.
And you just heard the commercial for the Highwomen Art Gallery at 1872 Commerce Avenue. But I want to remind everybody that commercial, that lovely voice that's asking the questions, that is my dear friend Susan Harris that passed away a couple of weeks ago. Next week, we will remind you of the event by the American Legion in Fort Pierce on August 24th. So next week, we'll give you a little more information about it. And Susan Harris, if anybody could have ever stopped the storm in its track, that would have been Susan Harris. That is one of the most powerful women persons, I should even say, that I've ever met. God bless you, and thank you for being in my life, Susan. I love you, have loved you, and will always love you. Patty, let's talk about let's not go through lists. Let's go from practicality, what each one of us three kind of have remembrance and memories of. God, we should have, but thank God we did, regarding hurricanes.
Well, okay, that makes me think of the one thing I really want to share.
Okay.
The most dangerous part of any storm is the 48 hours after it has passed. And a lot of those injuries and deaths do not get counted in the broader storm count.
Wow, interesting.
There are two reasons for this. One is post-storm traveling. Why in the world do people want to get in their cars and drive around after hurricanes?
Because they want to see the damage. They're
Be
curious.
ready to sit tight for 3 days.
Right.
The other danger is debris removal and cleanup.
Yeah.
One thing that happens is people who are now deprived of air conditioning want to get out and do all of the cleanup all at once. Stop. Pace yourself. Don't get overheated, exhausted, or lax on safety. I know only one person who sustained a life-threatening injury due to a hurricane. He was the public works director for a small city. Even though he had helped write the city's public works safety protocols, he partially climbed a soaking wet tree with a chainsaw to cut off a cracked branch.
Oh.
He was alone at the time. He paid for this indiscretion with his left arm. He fell off the tree. The chainsaw did not stop for some reason. And yes, he lost his arm. Okay?
That's a shame.
So, those 48 hours, that's when you're in the most danger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that in addition to that, once you're ready, I've gone through several hurricanes. One of the most beautiful thing about the disaster areas, and when we survive or withstand and live through disasters, how beautiful the American people and maybe the world, because we're talked about, our listeners are in Japan, Canada, England, and so on. When disasters hit, humanitarian fever kind of hits a new mode, and we help each other, and that's what it's about. It's beautiful how everybody's willing to sacrifice whatever and share whatever with. So remember that if unfortunately you do have to live through one of these disasters, or a hurricane or otherwise, always remember there's somebody out there maybe doing better than you, but maybe doing worse than you, and maybe you can help them. Some of the things that I've from my experience, number one, if you got a bathtub, fill that bathtub. If you got more, fill them up before the storm. You can always pull the drain and empty them.
Right, yeah.
But if there's a problem and the water gets shut off, you have no water, you have no air conditioning, you have no electric, you have no communication, you can't flush your toilet, you can't wash. Now, if you sanitize the bathtub before with whether it's a little bleach or whatever, you might even be able to drink. But now that, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, it's a gallon a day per person, isn't it?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Big bottle a gallon.
Yeah.
So my suggestion, don't buy the 5-gallon ones because it's too heavy to tip over.
It is, yeah.
But if you buy the 1 gallon, they're about $1.25, $1.50. Get a few dozen, depending upon how many people. So if you want to plan for 3 days, well, you got 10 people. Let's say 5 people in a family. Well, 5 times 3, you got 15. So the point is, give yourself too much. Now the other thing is, before the storm, turn your freezer up to its coldest, and don't open it to decide, gee, what do I want to eat?
Right.
Open, close. Don't keep the doors open. The fridge or the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Have your Band-Aids, what do you call it, the first aid kit available. Not just one, in a couple of different areas, because you may get kind of barricaded from one room to another, possibly. Candles, they're great, but they can start fires. So make sure you got candles. And nowadays, they got little candles that are unbelievable, like the big yellow ones that we still have with those big batteries. And those are phenomenal, but they only last so long. Make sure you have batteries, a candle, a battery, a flashlight throughout. And remember, your phone is not going to last forever. But you might be able to charge it in your car, even if you're not going to drive away. And what does that mean that you need to do with your car, everybody? Fill up the gas tank.
Yeah, I try to keep mine full this time of the year, as close to full, because I don't want to run into the lines, in all honesty.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it, but if you've got those little red containers of gasoline, you might want to fill a few of those up. Cindy, Patty, your turn. What else as far as food, perishable, and so on.
You know, well, I want to admit this. I always relied on my daughter to do everything because I would forget half the stuff. And you know what? I would be in a situation. I'd be like, I never got D batteries. I never did that. So I mean, that's not the right thing to do. I didn't realize until quite a few years ago when my daughter said that you can go out to the car, start it up, and put your phone, hook your phone up, and charge it up.
That's what I was leading up to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that was that. And you don't do it during the storm or whatever,
No.
but you just know that you can do that when the storm ends or whatever. But I guess my biggest thing is the canned foods. I don't even open the refrigerator. I crank it up and then I just eat out of the canned foods or whatever because you can't hardly cook that much anyway.
And there's several canned foods you could just manually open up
Right, yeah,
and
they
eat
have-
right out.
Yeah,
Like baked beans.
Right, stuff like
hash,
that.
what else?
Spaghetti. I live on
Spaghetti.
SpaghettiOs and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
All
yeah.
that, and even in dry stuff, cereal. You can eat dry cereal.
Right, yeah,
And
yeah,
if you don't
yeah.
have milk, you can put honey on it or whatever syrup, whatever you want, or just eat it dry. All these things kind of make you chuckle like, yeah, right.
And you know what? The one thing that I forget to do all the time is to have a tarp ready, whatever. I
Yes,
always
those root
need
tarps.
one, and then I go, oh, it's out here, it's out there, it's in the car. I'm like, why didn't I bring it inside? So that's one stupid thing that I always do.
Okay, Patty?
Yep.
I'm just going to repeat those websites. So have that pen and paper ready. FloridaDisaster.com, ready.gov, cdc.gov/hurricanes, plural.
Yeah, and more information, the better.
Yeah, and the other thing, I'm sorry I have to
Jonah's
bring
Law,
this.
72 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this, the other thing, I'm sorry I have to share this with you, but at the time of a disaster, right after you're vulnerable to the bad guys
Yep.
who try to figure out
Yeah.
how to get you. You got scam artists, contractors, people portraying themselves as inspectors and contractors and public officials. Be very, very cautious and very leery about giving any information. And as far as your record keeping, keep all your valuable papers.
Yes.
Try to
Yes.
have duplicates in one room, and if you have the originals, put them in double Ziploc bags and triple Ziploc bags. And how do you do double, triple? You put your Ziploc, turn it upside down, and with the seams into another Ziploc bag. Now you got Ziplocs on top and the bottom. Dumb things like that. Make sure you got plenty of bread,
And
crackers, peanut butter.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And
Plus-
cash is another. At least
yes.
have $200 if you can in cash.
And not in hundreds.
No.
Have
You
ones,
want
fives, and tens if
yes,
you can.
and singles and all that you do.
Yes,
You need the
about
cash.
quarters.
Yep, you need the cash.
As things come back, you may need to go to a laundromat, so you'll need singles
Yep.
and quarters.
Yep.
Anyway, God bless you all. Let's hope we all weather the storm and keep on listening to our Veterans Voice Radio. And at this point, thank God, we have our military to thank for all the freedoms that we are so happily living with.
Gregory Strom McIntosh Jr., Army.
This is a name I had to practice, everybody. Ronald Asterowitz, Army, Korea.
John William Jack Knight Jr., Army.
Lorenzo Dave Hormy, the Third Navy.
William D. Bill Lawrence, Navy.
Richard Herbert Friedberg, Army Reserve, and all of our other fallen heroes. They're your sisters and brothers, and they're our sisters and brothers. Thank you, one and all, for your sacrifice and for your service. We proudly salute you. God bless you and rest in peace forever.